This book, Trickster Feminism, was written during the strange last presidency. Just read a little bit of that, and it's called Denouement. Opens with a little Gertrude Stein ditty. Patriarchal poetry might be withstood. Patriarchal poetry at peace. Patriarchal poetry up peace. Patriarchal poetry in peace. Patriarchal poetry in pieces. But I'm not into cancel culture. It's straight. I mean, I wouldn't continue to work at the Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poetics. And the day would be proud of itself, going on as if it hadn't already collapsed, had not been destroyed, riven, all the people mad and metabolically downcast. It's around the eyes, it's around the hearts. The city was reeling. People were coming out to the street in the way they wanted to see where the big guy lived and boasted so as to mock the event. It wasn't over. It wasn't going to rest. The guy was not real as the day, as the year, the century, the epic shared was not real. The tribulation he ensued was not real, but it was that effect that mattered. What would suffer? It was the warmest year on record, as if that wasn't enough to make some citizens pause, and pausing resist, and if resisting insist on being heard and calibrated so that measures were taken round the clock, ice caps photographed melting and all the rest, a pole away from accountability. How ugly would it go? Resistance had to resist, ward off, deflect, exorcise, defy, apotropaic experiments to shift tone and danger, apo away, trépain to turn, make the day an amulet. And there were women everywhere across the land, children women, and girl women, and they women, and fluid women, and men who were women, and boy women, and women from the past on the tongues of mind and ear, and images of women everywhere, ancestor women, out on the streets, and everyone woman that day. I am woman, they said, out on the streets, and it had already happened if you stop to think, winning in Maynard heaven. But could earthly heart hold? The day said, I am woman. The day got up and walked this far, then paused to take stock. It was the last chance to be observant and cry and stomp and take stock. What worth if not be accountable? It would be theater, a spectacle. Come pay or come lie down in fluid bosom of woe, mankind. Remember the kabuki you saw, imitating the resolution between a sword and a fox, a country and its honor, how things and animals become agents of plot and resolve, last straws of honor. Sword resists, now broken on its back. Wild animal comes in peace, new maps, treaties, synapse, and blue of sky, midnight blue, was invoked in the shroud that draped the mobster's chair, where he sat timelessly, waiting for the play to begin. He was temporarily on pause, a mechanism that played to its own tune of false entitlement, fake rhythm not in tune with the spheres, but kicks in. We were it, played upon, blink of demon eye, oscillating over doomed electorate, and we were becoming a shroud of gray, rough, wolf signals, collapse of silken whirls. Now static they unravel, will reboot, silky, damp, dark of the labyrinth, going down. Maybe one could still supplicate, take back founding myth of Americus, evils of the feminine. She'd been up on Fifth Avenue, mumbling mantras of pacifying, enriching, magnetizing, and destroying as she circles the tower, giving wide berth. All man be gone, all man be gone, Om Khan, Khan be gone, Om Khan, Khan be gone. She gathers wealth of mind, and she invokes Black Mariah, and Noland, and Alistair, and Seela, and Tanya, and mysterious HR, and witness material richness as she gazes with woman's gaze into the holiday windows. But it isn't a holiday gaze anymore. It is an incinerator, a dungeon, a risk, a plunge in his tribulation, in his prelude to track to please to the Gorgon and her two lionesses mounted on Aegis and shield of Athena, to St. Bridget, to exorcism and all heresies of women, to Wenette, lady of the hour, with raised scepter, to great souls. It is the antinomian gaze of the gulag, prelude into twilight in irreparability for shimmering crystals, the glimmer edge of baubles and adornment, to Wadjet, her cobra trance. Earlier, the clarion rang clear from the sanctuary on 53rd, and people cheered and felt tones ringing inside their cells and sleeves of them, which give further power to rebuke a normalization habit, wanted to demand of them, people, sentient abiding people, go hide. We were in modest rain gear and coats of wool made for long treks across mountains, nights in front of a fire, watching patterns in flames play out a sayamaki, and she renewed her practice of circling and sounding and chanting, surrounding. She remembered the flood that was inside that might return, the closeness of fire and water and ice and breaks in the ground of earth, waiting until we be gone. What other earth have you ever known? Elements danced in collusion. What sophisticated algorithms could hold in a tempest? Earth trying to tell us something, and maybe we could rouse the rabble, and maybe we could have a palpable parable about craving soil under avenues, hope and fear, times of the chthonic. You stalk the air, its hiddenness. You choke in Calcutta. You choke in Delhi. Take a hit in Kathmandu.